BREAKINGNAW. This could change everything for the Dallas Cowboys. The one and only Cooper Kupp might be heading to Texas, and not just any Texas team, THADALLASCCOWBOYSE. The question is, could Jerry Jones be on the brink of making the most controversial and possibly game-changing move in Cowboys history? Is this a genius masterstroke, or is Jerry about to destroy everything this team has worked so hard to build? Stick around because we've got the inside scoop. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this one. What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss any of our exclusive NFL updates, team analysis, and, of course, the latest Dallas Cowboys news. Today, we have a major development coming out of the NFL, and it has everyone talking Cooper Kupp. The LA Rams' superstar wide receiver might be donning a Cowboys uniform in the near future. That's right, Cooper, the guy who led the Rams to a Super Bowl victory and has been absolutely unstoppable in his career, could be joining forces with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and the rest of the Cowboys roster. But hold on before you get too excited. Let's dive into this because there's a lot to unpack. Could this potential trade be a game changer for the Cowboys? Or is it a risky move that could completely backfire on Jerry Jones? Cooper Kupp has been one of the most consistent and reliable wide receivers in the NFL for the past several years. Whether it's his insane ability to get open or his unrivaled chemistry with quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford, Kupp has proven time and time again that he's a game changer. Back in 2021, he had one of the most historic seasons for a wide receiver in NFL history, leading the league in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. He was a huge reason the Rams made it to and ultimately won the Super Bowl that year. The guy knows how to deliver in clutch moments, and that's something the Cowboys desperately need. So, here's the situation. Reports are coming out that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office are heavily considering a trade for Cooper Kupp. Now, we know the Cowboys have been struggling with some inconsistencies at the wide receiver position, while CeeDee Lamb has emerged as a true no. One receiver, Dallas has still been looking for that second playmaker to pair with him, someone who can take the pressure off Lamb, stretch the field, and give Dak Prescott more options in the passing game. And while the Cowboys have a talented receiving core, adding Kupp to the mix could be exactly what they need to elevate their offense. Let's take a quick look at the Cowboys' wide receiver situation as it stands. CeeDee Lamb, as we all know, is the top dog. He's been Dak Prescott's go-to guy, and he's consistently putting up numbers. But after Lamb, things get a little murky. Michael Gallup has shown flashes of brilliance, but hasn't been as consistent since coming back from injury. Brandon Cooks was brought in this offseason to add speed and explosiveness, but he hasn't quite had the same impact as we hoped. Now, imagine this. You've got Dak Prescott, a quarterback who's shown he can put up big numbers, but is often criticized for not being able to perform in the biggest moments. Then you add CeeDee Lamb, who's quickly becoming a top-tier receiver in the league, but needs help to become even more dangerous. And finally, what if you add Cooper Kupp, one of the most elite receivers in the game? This trio could be deadly for opposing defenses, especially in the NFC East. But here's the thing, it's not all sunshine and rainbows when it comes to this potential trade. As much as Kupp would be an incredible addition, this move also comes with a set of challenges and some real risk. First off, let's talk about the cost. Cooper Kupp is not going to come cheap. He's under contract with the Rams for a few more years, so any trade would likely involve some serious draft capital, and possibly even a player or two. Now, we know Jerry Jones doesn't shy away from making big moves, but there's always a question of whether he'll be willing to part with enough assets to secure Kupp. In addition, Kupp is 30 years old. While that's not ancient by any means, It's something to consider when you're investing heavily in a player. Will he still be at the top of his game for the long term? Some fans might argue that Cooper Kupp is already in the latter part of his prime, and while he's been performing at an elite level, there's always a risk when you trade for a player of his age. What if he starts to decline? What if injuries catch up to him? The Cowboys would be betting a lot on Kupp maintaining his high level of play for at least the next few seasons. Then there's the salary cap situation. Dallas is already juggling contracts with big players like Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons. Adding Kupp's salary to the mix would create some cap headaches down the line. Can Jerry Jones make the numbers work without sacrificing other key pieces on the roster? And don't forget, if Kupp's trade involves a significant amount of draft picks, Dallas might find itself without the future assets it needs to build a balanced team for the long haul. But, of course, this all comes back to one thing, Jerry Jones. And that's where the real drama begins. Jerry Jones is known for making bold moves, but sometimes those moves don't always pan out. We've seen it with some of the questionable trades and signings he's made in the past. Is Jerry really willing to push all in on this one move? Remember, Jerry's been itching for another Super Bowl for decades now. He knows the clock is ticking on his legacy as the Cowboys owner. He's seen the team come close in recent years, but falter in the playoffs. With the emergence of teams like the 49ers, Eagles, and even the Vikings, Jerry might feel like this is the moment to go all in and bring in the kind of elite playmaker that could finally get Dallas over the hump. Would Jerry Jones sacrifice the long-term vision of this team for a short-term Super Bowl window with Kupp? It's a huge gamble, and if it backfires, if Kupp doesn't live up to the hype, or if Dallas sacrifices too much future capital, it could be a disaster. And let's be real here, Dallas fans are already on edge. They're already frustrated by the team's inability to get back to the big game. If this trade doesn't work, we could see some serious fallout. But here's the flip side. What if Jerry gets it right? What if this is the move that finally puts the Cowboys over the edge? With Cooper Kupp in the fold, the Cowboys would have one of the most potent offenses in the league, and Dak Prescott would have no excuse not to take this team deep into the playoffs. With a healthy Kupp, Dak could finally have that one wide receiver who's capable of making plays all over the field. The chemistry between Kupp and Dak could be electric, and the Cowboys' offense would be able to put up points against anyone, no matter how strong the defense. Combine that with a top-tier defense led by Micah Parsons, and the Cowboys would have a roster that could absolutely contend for the Super Bowl. So, what's it going to be? Will Jerry Jones pull the trigger on this deal, or will he decide that it's too risky to part with valuable assets for a player in his 30s? This is the type of move that could either make the Cowboys an unstoppable force or set them back for years to come. Whatever happens, you know I'll be here to break it down for you every step of the way. So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Is this a move the Cowboys should make? Or should Jerry Jones stay the course and focus on other areas of the team? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the action as we continue to cover all things Dallas Cowboys. Until next time, keep rooting for America's team,